My cousin texted, "Your stalker ex was just released from prison and has your address." I stared at the message for 30 seconds before my hands started shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. Marcus. After 3 years behind bars, he was out, and somehow he'd already found me. I'd moved across the country, changed my last name, deleted every trace of my old life online, but none of it mattered if he had my address. My cousin Tyler followed up immediately. Prison buddy told me, "Marcus has been planning this for months. Dude's obsessed. You need to run, now." The apartment suddenly felt exposed. Every window a potential entry point, every shadow a hiding place. I grabbed my laptop and started searching for flights out of the city, my cursor hovering over destinations that were far enough away, but close enough to drive back if needed. But where could I go that Marcus wouldn't eventually find me? He'd tracked me down before when I thought I was safe. 3 years ago, I'd gotten a restraining order after he broke into my apartment and waited in my bedroom closet for 6 hours until I came home from work. The look in his eyes when I found him sitting on my bed, holding my favorite sweater, still haunted my nightmares. He'd been calm, almost gentle, as he explained how we belonged together and how I'd understand eventually if I just stopped fighting what was meant to be. The police had arrested him that night, but Marcus had violated the restraining order 17 times in the following months, showing up at my job, following me to the grocery store, leaving gifts on my car windshield with notes about how patient he could be. The final incident happened when I was having dinner with friends at a restaurant downtown. Marcus had somehow gotten a job as a delivery driver just so he could walk into the restaurant and approach our table. He'd knelt down beside my chair and proposed with a ring he'd made from braided prison commissary bags, speaking loudly enough for the entire restaurant to hear about how our love had survived his temporary absence. The other diners had thought it was romantic until they saw my face. My friend Rebecca had called 911 while Marcus continued his speech about destiny and soulmates. When the police arrived, he'd calmly handed over the ring and told them he understood I needed more time to process my feelings. That was the incident that finally got him 3 years in state prison for stalking and violating a protective order. 3 years that I'd used to build a new life in Seattle, thinking distance and time would keep me safe. I called Tyler back immediately. How did he get my address? I don't know all the details, but his cellmate said Marcus spent the whole 3 years researching you, had photos printed from your social media before you deleted everything, knew about your job, your apartment, even your favorite coffee shop. My stomach dropped. What photos? I deleted everything before I moved. Old screenshots, cached pages, stuff friends posted and tagged you in. He had this whole system of keeping track. His cellmate thought it was romantic at first until Marcus started talking about how you were just confused and needed to be reminded of what you meant to each other. I looked around my studio apartment, really seeing it for the first time as Marcus would see it. Ground floor with windows facing the parking lot, no security system, just a chain lock and a deadbolt that anyone with basic tools could defeat. One exit through the front door, no back way out. I'd chosen it because it was affordable and close to work, never thinking about defensibility. Tyler, I need you to do something for me. Call Detective Walsh at Seattle PD and tell her Marcus Wright was released from Millhaven Correctional and has made threats. Tell her I need to reactivate my case file. Already did that. She's on her way to your place now. Relief flooded through me. Detective Walsh had handled my original case before I moved, and she'd been the one to suggest I relocate when Marcus's behavior escalated. She understood how dangerous he was and wouldn't dismiss this as paranoia. 20 minutes later, Detective Walsh knocked on my door with a uniformed officer beside her. I recognized her immediately. Tyler filled me in, she said without preamble. We're treating this as an active threat. How long ago did you get the warning? About an hour ago. She nodded and pulled out her phone. I'm calling this into the task force. Marcus Wright is considered high risk, and his release should have triggered automatic notification to victims. Someone dropped the ball on protocol. The uniformed officer started walking around my apartment, checking windows and door locks while Detective Walsh interviewed me. She wanted to know about any contact I'd had with Marcus or his associates, any suspicious activity around my building, any feeling that I was being watched. I told her about the weird phone calls I'd been getting for the past week. Someone would call, I'd answer, and then they'd hang up without saying anything. I'd assumed it was telemarketers or wrong numbers, but now it felt sinister. Those calls started exactly 7 days ago, I said, checking my phone log. Always from different numbers, always during the day when I'd normally be at work. Detective Walsh made notes while the uniformed officer finished his security assessment. The news wasn't good. My apartment was what he called tactically indefensible, with too many access points and no safe room to retreat to if someone got inside. You can't stay here tonight, Detective Walsh said firmly. We're going to set up surveillance on the building, but Marcus is smart and patient. He'll wait until we're not watching, then make his move. Where am I supposed to go? I can't afford a hotel indefinitely. There's a safe house program for high-risk domestic violence cases. It's not luxurious, but it's secure and confidential. Can you pack a bag quickly? I threw essentials into my largest suitcase while the officers waited. As I packed, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Welcome home, beautiful. I missed you so much. To see what Marcus did after that text, watch the full story on my channel or linked below.